Hey guys, and welcome back. So for today's video, I will be testing and trying out the new Tati Beauty Volume 1 palette, which I am so incredibly excited to do. It's been sitting here in my makeup room for probably almost a month now, and it's been absolutely killing me because I haven't been able to try it out, play with it, and I didn't even want to stick my finger in it and swatch it or anything until I was sitting in front of the camera and doing a video for you guys. So that is what this video is going to be all about. I'm going to be trying this bad boy out, and I'm not going to be doing any swatches because I'm sure you seen a ton of swatches on the internet already, so I will just be trying this one on my face. I have a Jack and Jill to go to later with some friends, so what better time to get ready and film it for you guys. So if you would like to see this palette in action, just keep on watching. So this is what the palette looks like outside of the little carton that it comes in. And it is such a simple but beautiful looking palette. Like, it doesn't really have much going on at all. It does say Tati Beauty Volume 1 down here, so obviously hopefully she's going to come out with a Volume 2, which I cannot wait. So the mirror is pretty huge in this. As you can see, it takes up almost the whole side of this upper flap here. And it does come with this little protective sleeve, which I really appreciate. And of course, this is the palette. Obviously what stands out to everybody, of course, has to be the glitters because they are like show-stopping. They are so gorgeous. So this palette really stood out to me, and I really wanted to invest in it. My number one palette that I use every single day, like without a doubt, would be the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I absolutely love that palette. I use it literally almost every single day, whether it be for work or if I'm going out or whatever the case may be. This one here really spoke to me because the colors are a little bit similar, I guess. Like, they're on the more neutral side, which I love. And of course you got your little pop of color with like the raspberry and the pinks, and the glitter if you want to enhance your look. So before filming, I did go in with the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream because I always like to go in with moisturizer beforehand. And for the foundation, I think I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Photofocus foundation in the shade Soft Ivory. This is like one of my favorite drugstore foundations, and it actually stays on really long before it starts to break up. And I really love this little doe foot applicator that you can kind of just distribute it on your face before blending it in. And I'm just going to go in with a Morphe G6 brush, and it is quite dirty, so just disregard that. And I'm just going to start by blending in that first little bit of foundation. Excuse my voice if it sounds a little raspy. I'm just getting over a cold, and it done this weird thing to my throat, so if I sound a little weird, that's why. So if any of you guys are actually subscribed to me and watched my other videos, you know I haven't put out a video in like literally so long. Like, it's been such a long time. It's probably going on 2 months now, if not over. And the reason for that is not because I feel like I owe anybody an explanation, but just because I prefer to give one. I didn't just kind of pop off of here like being lazy and didn't want to do a video, but I guess the first reason was, I don't know why I did this to myself, but yeah, so I'm employed at 3 different places right now. I'm employed at a full-time job, a part-time job, and then an on-call job, which you guys probably already know that I am an on-call artist at MAC. So that one's not really, you know, getting in the way because I am on call and I don't get as many hours there. But the full-time job and my part-time job, if you heard me say before, I do work at a jewelry store for the last number of years now. So between that job and my full-time job, which is only contract work, so I will be done with it eventually, such a huge adjustment to try to, you know, work both, and then that MAC on-call job on the side. And just life in general has been so tough. Like, it's been such an adjustment, so I literally had no time. I went for like the longest period of time without a day off. Like, literally I probably went from August until probably a good October with probably having 3-4 days off in total. So needless to say, I had no time to like film a makeup video or anything of the sorts. I was just so run down. I almost took like a mental breakdown because of it. I know it sounds kind of dramatic, but I was exhausted. And besides that, my fiance Joseph, he owns his own company, so he's been on the go so long, and we actually share a car, so it's been a little tricky. And then on top of that, at the beginning of this month, which is November, I'm filming this the very last day of November, so the beginning of this month, a family member of ours had gotten sick and passed away, so that has been a huge whirlwind to kind of deal with. Just when you think that life can't really, you know, throw a curveball at you, it does. So we've been pretty busy dealing with a lot of things lately, so needless to say, filming has been on the back burner for me. I wasn't motivated after all that happened, and I was just kind of in a dark place, so here I am. I decided to just, you know, get back to everything. It's time to get back to normal and focus and do what I like to do among working. Here I am filming another video for you guys. I'm just going to put another small layer of foundation just kind of in the middle of my face. And I'm going to go in with Covergirl Trublend Undercover Concealer, and this is in the shade L150 Porcelain. So this one is one of my favorite drugstore concealers. It's made it in a couple of my videos so far, and I'm probably going to have to pick up another one because I am running out. And I'm just going to blend that out with the same Real Techniques beauty sponge. And now I'm going to go in and set my foundation. And this is actually a powder that one of my friends from work, Maria, has actually given to me. Thank you so much, Maria. So she doesn't really like this kind of thing. She doesn't wear a whole lot of heavy makeup on her face. So I have mentioned that I wanted to try Laura Mercier powders. So she was kind enough to give me this one from her collection. So this one is actually the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder for Under Eyes. I've actually never heard that there was an under eye powder from her, but I guess there is, and I actually really like it. So I'm actually going to go in with this with a Morphe blending sponge, and I'm just going to dab into that and put some under my eyes. And I can see how it would be brightening because it is white. And this actually reminds me of the RCMA white setting powder as well, which I also really love. I know it said for under eyes, but I'm going to put some just anywhere where I would normally bake my face. So while this is kind of setting and doing its thing, I am going to go in and do brows, but I'm just going to hurry and do this one off camera. So I'm using the BH Cosmetics Flawless Brow Trio Brow Defining Kit in the shade Light. And I use this middle shade down here, so I like to use that one. This one's a cream and this one's a little bit darker, but I really like to use this one here. So I'm gonna go fill in my brows and I will be right back. So I'm back, and as you can see, my brows are done and I wiped away that bake. So while I was away, I kind of just did my bronzer right quick too, just to save some time, and I used the Benefit Hoola bronzer, and I have this tiny little mini one right here, which I may have to go pick up a large one because I didn't know how much I actually liked the Hoola bronzer. But I did save some blush for the camera, and what I'm going to be using is this one by Annabelle. It's called the Perfect Blush, and this one is in the shade Peony. I'm just going to take that with a Sigma powder blush brush, and I'm just going to put some of this on my cheeks. And I love blush. Like, I cannot literally go out of the door without blush. It's like one of my necessities for makeup. I just find it makes you look so much more put together, and it just kind of brings your face to life. So I am a huge blush fan, and I think I always will be. So that is blush, and if it kind of looks like I put a little bit too much on, I promise you it will come together at the end of the video. And now it's time for the good part. So I'm not sure which order I'm supposed to say the name. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to say the color story first and then the formula or the texture second. So I am going to just I'm going to feel the sequin version of Soothe. Ooh, and they feel so nice, and they're super pigmented. Yeah, that one is really pretty. So I think this is going to be a really good palette. I have yet to see a bad review of one yet. Everybody who's tried this out really loved it, so I'm obviously certain that I'm going to feel the same way. So let's get to it. First off, I'm going to go in with a matte shade, and I'm going to go in with Soothe down here, this like light tan color brown or camel brown. And I'm going to go in with the Morphe E23 brush, and I'm just going to start blending that into my crease first off. And yeah, it's pretty pigmented. I never expected it to be this pigmented, but whoa, it really is. And like, that's like no effort. Like, it pretty much blends itself. Like, just a couple of like strokes and you're pretty much done. It pretty much does the work for you. So I think what I'm going to go into now is I'm going to go in with the matte shade of Ritual, and it's more of this like dark kind of true brown down here. And I'm actually going to switch up my brush. I'm going to be using the Sigma Tapered Blending E35 brush, and I'm going to take some of that brown and I'm just going to deepen up the crease. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it all the way over. I usually only kind of stop here, and I'll usually, like my personal style, I'll usually sweep in with some sort of like a shimmer or a metallic kind of right here with a lighter shade, but I'm going to just do something a little bit different, and I'm going to take it almost all the way over. And it really does blend really, really well. Like, I'm actually really impressed with the blendability with these shadows. So before I do anything else, I'm just going to take that same brown and I'm going to catch this eye up. And I am so happy that Tati came out with a palette, because she is like the queen of YouTube, and everything that she says, like, I trust her so much with makeup reviews. Like, I feel like if Tati says that this is good, you don't even have to try it for yourself. Like, you can just go out and buy it and you know it's gonna be good. So as like a makeup lover, I put so much trust into the items that she says that she loves, and I've yet to be, you know, disappointed. So I splurged. I think it came to like $80 some Canadian, like once the conversion rate and tax and shipping was tacked on. But I was just like, I don't care, because I know this is going to be the palette for me and that I'm going to absolutely love it. So I had no problem splurging whatsoever. I'm going to go in with the sequin shade of Ritual. So it's the next one up, and it kind of just has a little bit more shimmer to it. And I'm just going to go over the brown that I just laid down. And I know it looks super messy right now, but I promise it'll come together. So I think before I take it further, I'm just going to stick with the same brush, and I'm actually going to go in with Soothe right here, and I'm just going to put some on my bottom lid. And this already has that brown shade on it, so I think it'll just tie in nicely. And on top of the matte Soothe, I'm going to go in with Sequin Ritual, the one that I was just in before that one, and I'm going to place that one on my lower lid as well. I think I'm going to take the sequin shade in Aura, so it almost has like some pinkish goldish specks going through it. So it's this one right here, and I'm actually going to take a little bit of that on my finger, and I'm going to place it in the middle of my lid where I kind of never really put the brown. Ooh, and that kind of just like fades everything out really, really nicely. Like, honestly, you guys, you don't even have to try with this palette, because it is just so good. Like, I feel like this would be good for beginners in makeup and experienced makeup artists, because really you can do like anything with this and it just works. Like, I don't know how, but it just works. So I am just going in with this Sigma brush that I had before, and I'm just going to buff out some of the lines. I think I'm going to go in with Poet. So it's the matte shade down here, so Matte Poet. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that, and I'm just going to dab a little bit into the crease and in the outer edge here, just to add some more warmth and depth to the eye. I'm actually going to take some of that Poet shade and I'm going to put it on my lower lash as well. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the matte Story shade. So it's like this orangey shade, this burnt orange, same brush. And I'm going to also put that into the crease as another layer. And this just kind of helps warm everything together. I really love blending and building different shades of colors. I think that's what makes a eyeshadow look really rich and really put together and really elegant is when you start layering and building colors up. And I'm going to take that same orange and also put it on my lower lash line. And I'm just going to take that big Morphe brush that I started with, and I'm just going to kind of buff out all of the edges. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back with my Sigma E45 brush, and I'm actually going to go in with the Memory Black. It's in the matte shade, so it's Memory Matte. And I'm just going to dab a little bit into this. And I heard this one was really pigmented, so I'm going to be very careful. But I'm just going to put this a little bit into the outer corner. I'm just going to bring it up a little bit. And whatever's left on my brush, I'm just going to drag down to my bottom lash. So now I'm going to go in with liner, and I'm going to be using that matte black shade once again. And this one is the Sigma E65 small angled brush. And I'm going to just dip into that. And I'm just going to line the base of my lids like I normally do for liner. And oh my goodness, is this ever pigmented? Like, nobody was joking when they said that. Barely have to touch your skin and it's just like, it's there. And I'm going to do my lower lash as well. And I'm just dipping back into Matte Story here just to kind of put in the crease a little bit, just a little extra. And I am going to go into the Metallic Aura shade up here. So I'm just going to take that on a Morphe Y22 brush, and I'm going to place that in my inner corner and under my brow. So this is like a super pretty shade. It works really well to brighten up the inner corner. Some under my brows. So now it's time for the fun part, and I am going to be applying a glitter shade kind of to the center of my eye. But yeah, I think I'm going to go in with the Glitter Soothe. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my finger. And oh my goodness, is it ever pigmented? I didn't think it would be like that together for a glitter. Usually when you dunk into a glitter with your finger, you do see a lot of like splotches and empty patches. So this one is really together, so I kind of can't believe that. But I'm going to put this right on my lid. Oh my goodness, it is so incredibly beautiful. Like, I have no words. This is like the best glitter formula that I have ever tried. So that looks so pretty. I am so impressed with that glitter, and yeah, you have no idea. So I think we are done with this palette now, and we're just going to continue on with this look. So I'm going to go in with some mascara next, and I'm going to be using the Monsieur Big by Lancome, surprise surprise. And I'm just going to be putting a thin layer of mascara on because I am going to attempt some false lashes. I feel like you can't do a look this bold and not put some lashes on. I feel like it would almost be a waste. So I think I'm going to attempt lashes next. So I'm going to be using the Ardell Natural Demi Lashes, and this is what they look like here. So I am going to go put these on, and I will be right back. So I'm going to apply lips, and I think I'm going to use the shade Crush. And this is what it looks like here. It's kind of like a nudie shade, but I've never worn it before, so let's see how this looks. So that is what this shade looks like, and I really like this shade. I think it complements the look really well. They have the same kind of tones. So one of the last steps for me is highlighter. So I'm going to be going in with MAC Double Gleam Extra Dimension Skin Finish Highlighter. And I'm going to be going in with my favorite Sigma High Cheekbone Highlighter brush. So I'm going to sweep into this, and I'm going to just apply some on my cheekbones. And I like putting some on my nose and down the bridge and here and above my eyebrows. So guys, this concludes my makeup look, and I am so happy with how it turned out. I absolutely love this palette as I thought I would. I knew I would because there was absolutely no negative reviews on YouTube whatsoever. Everybody really loved this palette, and I am of course one of them. So guys, that concludes this video on my Tati Beauty palette. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked what you've seen, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you would like to see more by me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I've recently just hit over 500 subscribers, and I just want to thank you so much for that. That ends this video, and I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Bye!